Should I buy Bitcoin? This is a question that's been echoing my mind for the last several weeks as I've seen the price increase up and up and up dramatically over the last month. So this has naturally sparked a ton of interest in the investment community as a whole. So I thought, why don't I take it upon myself to really dive into this and see if it's a good investment right now. And now before we dive in too deeply, let's quickly cover some bases on what Bitcoin is and what it means as an investment. So Bitcoin is a digital currency where the record of transactions is kept and pieces of currency are created by solving mathematical problems. And the entire currency operates independently of a central bank. There's no backroom Fed pulling levers, controlling supply and demand with this. It's completely decentralized. With Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, records of transactions are held in what's called a public ledger. It's important to note that this doesn't mean if you send money to a friend, anyone can see the transaction. Yes, it's called a public ledger, but identities are anonymous to outsiders. Now, Bitcoin is created by what's called mining. In order to mine Bitcoin, you need a pretty powerful computer to solve hashing puzzles. These hashing puzzles are basically doing the work of verifying other Bitcoin transactions and keeping the whole ecosystem honest and accurate. People who are doing this hard work, or at least their computers are doing the hard work, are rewarded in Bitcoin for their efforts. Now that we know what Bitcoin is and how it works, what gives it any value as an investment? And the answer is it doesn't really have any value by itself. Instead, it's a vehicle to hold value, just like cash is. This is called a fiat currency. It has value as a fiat currency because of its ability to be divided into smaller parts, its ability to be used to purchase things, its ability to last over time, and its difficulty to be counterfeited. So we bundle all these reasons why it's useful with the final biggest reason why the price keeps increasing, and that's its a limited supply combined with its increasing demand. There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin available. Period. And about 18 million of which are currently in circulation. The rest just haven't been mined yet. And how that works through mining, fewer coins will be released every year, and the way things are set up, the final Bitcoin will be mined in the year 2140. On top of this, it's estimated that 4 to 6 million Bitcoin have been permanently lost because of various reasons like a hard drive was trashed, a password was lost, a dog ate it. You name it, people have lost Bitcoin because of it. I personally have an experience with this. I bought about $30 worth of Bitcoin back in 2015 just to kind of see what it was all about. And that would now be worth about $3,000 if I could find access to it. I've tried, but I'm pretty sure it's gone forever. But anyways, crying aside, we have this fixed supply of Bitcoin, but the demand for it keeps going up. This means the only thing that can happen in the face of more demand is a higher price, and that's what we're seeing. Now, is Bitcoin a good investment? And the answer is maybe. Let me explain. But first, let me remind you that if you use the link in my description for Webull and open an account, you will receive 4 completely free stocks just for a limited time. So you have to do this quickly if you deposit $100 into your account. 4 stocks for free. You don't even have to spend $100. I've done it. It's a great deal. Plus, you'll be helping out this channel while you're at it. All right, now back to it. I believe any investment into Bitcoin is more speculative than investment, which that's fine. It doesn't mean you can't make money with it. It's just more speculative. There are differences in the exact definitions of investment versus speculation. However, investments are typically categorized as an asset or item purchased with the goal of generating income or appreciating. For me, it's easier to think of this as like investments and speculation being on a spectrum rather than this black and white yes or no. Every investment has some degree of speculation and risk. However, the level can vary dramatically. Now, assets that are typically more on the speculation side are things like options, foreign currencies, and startup companies. I think cryptocurrencies fit more into that category. To me, a true investment is in an asset that produces cash, then either disperses that cash or reinvests it. This kind of asset makes educated investment decisions much easier. You're able to, look at how much cash that thing's spitting out, look at the growth rate, and then give it a reasonable price. It's still not very easy, but it's easier than a super speculative investment. Where with crypto, that just simply isn't the case, at least not right now. There's talk of Ethereum having money-making potential in the future, but it doesn't work that way for now. For right now, a purchase in crypto is a bet that someone else will pay more than you did at a later date for that Bitcoin. This is called the greater fool's theory in investing. You could be right and make a ton of money, or you could be wrong and lose a ton of money. That's it. And because of this, I highly recommend that any purchase of Bitcoin or any other speculative investment for that matter is an amount of money that you can afford losing. There are plenty of other investments out there with good returns and a safer outlook. Making a big bet isn't worth losing your house, your cat, your Beanie Baby collection, nothing. Be safe if you have to be safe. Now, let's say you do have some extra money and you're willing to risk it. Let's see what the trends and the experts are saying about Bitcoin. Starting off with Google Trends, we can see what the search volume of Bitcoin has done over the last 5 years. We see a peak at mid-December of 2017, and this is when the price broke just over $20,000. And then, things crashed and you didn't hear much about it for a while. Prices went down as low as $3,000 and had a near 85% loss in value. Since then, interest has slowly increased to where we're at today. Currently, we're at the second highest level of interest since its peak back in 2017. However, even today, its level of search is still a third of what we saw at its highest. I actually believe this is a good thing. We don't want everyone and their mother talking about Bitcoin and buying all at once only to result in another huge crash. There's an old line, it goes something like, I might get this wrong, but it goes something like, if your gardener tells you about an investment, it's probably too late. And that's what happened in 2017. Everyone was talking about Bitcoin. So in my opinion, the trends look good. But what are the experts and the big investors saying and doing? There are actually a surprising number of big buyers and big banks investing in this space. Look at this. DBS Bank, with a $60 billion market cap, starts a digital exchange. Institutional crypto services in Switzerland. Chase Bank has flipped 180 and is now bullish on Bitcoin. We're now even looking at many more mutual funds picking up Bitcoin in their portfolios, and the price speculations of $400,000. This time around, it's just simply much harder to find people against Bitcoin. It's lasted the test of time, at least somewhat, but 5 years or so anyways. Now, here's the question we have to ask ourselves. Is Bitcoin the best crypto to buy, or should we look at other coins like Ethereum instead? My thought here is, even though it seems like Ethereum is a better overall product, Bitcoin won the race to be the first and get the recognition. I mean, even the words Bitcoin and crypto are nearly synonymous to your everyday person. So much so that any coin by another name is almost looked at as like a knockoff version of Bitcoin. I believe this name recognition will carry Bitcoin further than any other coin because ultimately the price is driven by use and name recognition. If these companies were competing on profits, I probably would go with Ethereum, but they're not. Now, in summary, the trend for Bitcoin has been increasing and it doesn't appear to be stopping anytime soon. Now is likely a good time to make a purchase, especially if you're willing to buy and hold through any rough period through the next 5 to 10 years. However, this isn't to say we're guaranteed this huge 10x return. Anyone who invests should be okay with the possibility of potentially losing 85% again. And on top of this, make sure you do all of your own research as well. If you are interested, don't just take mine or any other one source's advice. So that's going to do it for today. I would like to thank you for watching, and I hope you have a profitable day.